This is an amazing story that I could title it if I would. Saved by a blackberry bush. And I'll tell you what, I'm saved by Jesus, but I'm also saved by a blackberry bush, or let's just say the Lord used a blackberry bush to save my life. I was in New Zealand, and I've told you another story on one of the other episodes about when I was in New Zealand. And this is maybe on the same trip, but I've been there more than once. But at one time I was asked to tour through a big part of New Zealand in a car, and I was afraid to go by myself because you'd got to drive it on the opposite side of the road over there. And I was afraid my habit would get me driving on the wrong side of the road, which over here is the right side of the road. And I was afraid I'd get in an accident because habit, you might catch yourself driving down the wrong side. So there was a man who offered to take me, and he'd do the driving. And of course, he was a a New Zealander. And we were on our way, but we had to go through some mountains on the way to the next town where we were going. And we were driving along, and we come to a corner way high in the mountains, way up high. And you could look down over the side, and it was like way down there. So we're overlooking on one side a mountain, on the other side a canyon. And that was a scary look down there. And the roads are not very wide there compared to here. So it was a little scary. Anyway, we were on our way going up this mountain, and we come around a corner, and we hit a patch of black ice. And we whirled around like this. And we slid off the corner and over the cliff. And it was like hundreds of yards straight down. And as we went over the cliff, the car landed in a blackberry bush, maybe 20 yards from the top. And then we were just shocked. We were shocked. Thank God for the blackberry bush. We crawled out of the car. It was cold. We built a little fire there because there was nobody coming anywhere. And we didn't know exactly how we was going to get out of this mess. And then finally another car, here come another car, and maybe they'll stop, and they come around the corner, and it hit the black ice. And it come right over the cliff and dove right into the blackberry bush right beside us. And I'll never forget that. And there was a little old lady in the back of that thing that was so scared, I'll never forget, bless her heart, as they pulled her out of there. But now we're all hanging over a cliff in a blackberry bush, hanging above a canyon that's way down there. And so we had a little fire going there waiting for somebody to come that could help us. And then along comes a motorcycle with two guys on it. And boy, I noticed that they were really going fast. And I thought, whew, that ice is going to get him. That ice is going to get him. So I run out there and I go like this, trying to slow them down. Well, these guys weren't very nice, and they thought I was trying to tell them how fast to go. And they gave me a hand gesture that I won't do. But I think you know what I'm talking about. But they let me have this hand gesture, And about the time that they did the hand gesture, the motorcycle. So they drove off the road, and the poor guys landed in the bush just like we did. Now, I want to tell you about two embarrassed guys. Here was somebody that had tried to wave him down to save their life from going over a cliff. And of course, they didn't die. They landed in the same bush that we did. And so everything turned out just fine. But they were a couple of embarrassed guys. Now, just to tell you how the story ended, eventually somebody had come along that had CB or so on. They was able to get a wrecker to come. And within a couple of hours or so, they had a wrecker come up the hill and hook onto us and pull us up out of the blackberry bush and set us on the road, and away we went. And I traveled across town to town, all around New Zealand, sharing the gospel, sharing the happy sounds of yodeling, and telling my stories and preaching. And God was good, and he's good to you, just turn your life over to him. You'll find out that he delights in you if you delight in him. God bless you.